I was sitting at the kitchen table, staring at my laptop screen like it had just punched me in the stomach. The college fund. Gone. $42,318.65. Wiped out overnight. I refreshed the bank page over and over, thinking maybe it was a glitch. Maybe I had clicked the wrong account. Maybe I was dreaming. But it was real. I don't know how long I sat there, frozen, hand clutched over my mouth, heart thudding like I'd run a marathon. My body shook, but not from cold, from disbelief, from betrayal. And then I cried. Not the soft, quiet kind of cry you hide behind a napkin. I mean the ugly kind, chest heaving, face soaked, nose running. The kind of cry that comes when the world crashes down and takes everything with it. That money was for Logan, his future, his hard-earned future. I'd worked double shifts at the hospital, picked up night shifts on holidays, skipped vacations, and clipped every coupon like my life depended on it. All for that fund. And now it was gone. Stolen. I didn't need to ask who did it. I already knew. Derek. My husband, or I guess my ex-husband now, had finally done the unthinkable. He'd taken what didn't belong to him and ran off like a coward. No note, no apology, just a drained bank account and a silence that said everything. He had been distant for months, secretive with his phone, smiling at texts he didn't show me, staying late, at work, when I knew better. I confronted him once and he told me I was paranoid and emotional. I believed him, because I wanted to. Because I thought love meant trusting even when it hurt. Turns out love means nothing when you're married to someone who only loves himself. I wiped my eyes and closed the laptop. I didn't want Logan to see me like this. I didn't want him to worry, not at 13. He deserved to be a kid, not caught in the middle of his parents' mess. But of course he saw me anyway. I heard his soft footsteps behind me, and when I turned around, there he was, standing in the doorway in his faded Avengers t-shirt, hair tousled from sleep, holding a half-eaten apple in his hand. "Mom?" he asked gently. "Why are you crying?" I quickly turned away and wiped my face with the back of my hand. "It's nothing, baby. Just tired. Go back to watching your show." He didn't move. "Is it about Dad?" he asked. "Because if it is, I know." I froze. My heart skipped. Know what? He walked over, pulled out the chair beside me, and sat down. Calm. Almost too calm. "I saw the email alert from the bank this morning," he said. "I know he took the money." I stared at him, stunned. "Logan, how did you—" He shrugged. "You used my name for the account. I get alerts, too." I swallowed hard. My little boy, no, not so little anymore, was smarter than I ever gave him credit for. "I'm so sorry, baby," I whispered. "That money was for your future. I don't know what we're going to do now." "Mom," he interrupted, and for the first time he smiled. Not a happy smile, but a knowing one. A smirk, almost. "Relax. I took care of it." I blinked. "What?" "I handled it," he repeated. I frowned. "Logan, what are you talking about?" He leaned back in the chair, took another bite of his apple, and said, "Dad's going to call soon, and when he does, just put it on speaker." I stared at him, confused. "Logan, what did you do?" But he didn't answer. He just smiled and said, "Want me to make you some tea, Mom? You look like you need it." I didn't know whether to be comforted or terrified, because in that moment, my 13-year-old son looked like he knew exactly what he was doing, and whatever it was, it had already begun. I should have seen the signs long before the money vanished. The affair didn't start overnight. I just chose not to believe it when the little cracks started showing. At first, it was small things. Derek coming home later than usual, locking his phone, stepping outside to take work calls that never made sense. He started wearing cologne again, the expensive kind I didn't buy him. I remember the first time I noticed it. He came home late, reeking of it. When I asked, he laughed and said one of the nurses at the hospital spilled perfume on him. I wanted to believe that. So, I did. For weeks, I tried to justify the changes, his coldness, his sudden bursts of energy followed by hours of silence. He stopped asking about Logan's school, stopped touching me at all. But I kept telling myself he was tired, maybe depressed, maybe just distant because of work. Until one night, everything snapped. I was folding laundry in the bedroom when Derek walked in, grabbed a duffel bag from the closet, and started stuffing his clothes into it. "Where are you going?" I asked. He didn't look at me. "Out of town for a bit." "Out of town?" I repeated, confused. "Since when? You didn't tell me." "Just a few days," he cut me off. "Don't start, Jasmine. I need space." "Space?" I dropped the towel in my hand. "Derek, what's going on? Are you seeing someone?" That made him pause. He finally looked up at me, his face flat and expressionless. "Does it matter?" I felt like the floor opened beneath me. "So, it's true." He zipped the bag and swung it over his shoulder. "I'm tired of pretending, Jasmine. You and me, we've been dead for years." "We have a son," I snapped. "A life. You're just going to walk away?" He looked at me for a second like he wanted to say something more, maybe even apologize. But instead, he turned and walked out. And that was it. He never came back. At least, not as my husband. The next morning, I drove to work in a daze. My eyes were dry, but my chest felt like it had a brick sitting on it. I spent my whole shift wondering what to tell Logan. How do you explain to a child that his father chose someone else? When I finally came home that night, I opened my banking app just to check on the usual bills. And that's when I saw it. The college fund, empty, not a dollar left. I double-checked, then triple-checked, then called the bank. The woman on the other end was polite but firm. "Yes, ma'am. A transfer was made last night using your linked device." She confirmed it was Derek's access. Of course it was. He didn't just leave, he robbed us. That night, I told Logan his dad wouldn't be coming back. I tried to soften it, but he was quiet. Too quiet. He didn't cry. He just asked, "Is it because of the lady he keeps texting?" I blinked. "What lady?" Logan pulled out his tablet, tapped a few times, and turned it to show me. There it was, Derek's name in an old chat, caught in one of Logan's background syncs from months ago. The messages weren't explicit, but they were personal. Heart emojis, secret locations, late-night jokes. Derek had been messaging her for a long time. Logan said, "Her name is Tina. She posts a lot." I stared at my son, unsure what shocked me more, his calmness, or the fact that he'd known all along. "Logan, why didn't you tell me?" He shrugged. "You looked tired." I thought maybe it wasn't my business. But then he took the money. He looked up at me and something cold flickered in his eyes. That's when it became my business. That was the moment I realized something had changed in Logan. He wasn't just a kid anymore. He was planning something. And from the look on his face, it had already begun. I didn't know what to do with what Logan had told me. Tina. That was her name. The woman Derek had been texting. The one who was likely living off our son's college fund. I wanted to scream, to break something, to drive down and find them both and drag Derek into court. But we didn't even know where they were. I had no address, no phone number, just a name. But Logan, he didn't seem worried. He was quiet for most of the day, walking around with his tablet in one hand and a pair of headphones slung around his neck. Every now and then, I'd catch him smirking at the screen like he knew a secret the rest of the world hadn't figured out yet. By the time evening came, I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Logan," I asked, sitting next to him on the couch, "what exactly do you mean you handled it?" He looked up from the screen, then turned the tablet toward me. "You see this?" he said, showing me a woman's social media profile. Her name was Tina Diamond, and her account was very public. There were dozens of selfies, some with Derek's face half visible in the background. Expensive brunches, hotel pool shots, shopping bags lined up on marble floors. One photo caught my eye immediately, Tina holding a designer purse and captioning it, "When your man knows you deserve luxury, one spoiled." I swallowed hard. The bag she was holding was worth almost $2,000, bought with my son's future. "Look," Logan said, swiping through the posts. "She tags her location all the time. See? Last week, the Haven Suites Hotel. The week before that, Skyline Spa Lounge. She's obsessed with showing off." I leaned closer. "Is that how you've been tracking them?" He nodded. "Dad's not online much, but she is. I set up alerts on her name. Every time she posts something new, I get pinged." My mouth fell open. "You did what?" "I've been watching them," he said, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "And I found something better." He tapped open a short video, a live stream Tina had posted 2 nights ago. She was lounging on a hotel bed in a silk robe, glass of champagne in one hand. "Y'all, I told him I needed a break from stress, and this man got us a suite with a rooftop hot tub. Period. College funds do come in handy," she laughed. My stomach turned. She said it. Out loud. On camera. She knew. She knew that was our money. And she thought it was funny. "She bragged about it," I whispered. "She thinks she's untouchable," Logan said flatly. My son, my sweet, soft-spoken Logan, had a steel edge in his voice I had never heard before. "I've been screenshotting everything," he added. "I even saved the live stream. It might disappear from her page, but not from mine." I looked at him, really looked at him. He wasn't just collecting evidence, he was studying them, like a detective with a case to solve. "You shouldn't be doing this," I said softly. "I had to," he replied. "No one else was going to." I wanted to protest, but he was right. The police wouldn't care. The banks would tell us it was a family matter. The courts, maybe? But it would take months, maybe years, to get the money back. But Logan wasn't waiting around for grown-ups to do something. He was already 5 steps ahead. That night, as I made dinner, I heard Logan on a quiet phone call in the next room. His voice was calm. He was asking about crypto wallets and blockchain tracing, things I barely understood. I didn't know who he was talking to. He never said. But when I asked him about it, he just said, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm just learning. I need to understand how people like Dad hide money." He said it so casually, like it was homework. I didn't know what scared me more, that Derek had stolen from us, or that Logan had already started working on a plan to steal it back. And from the look in his eyes, I could tell. He wasn't done yet. The next morning started quietly. Too quietly. Logan was already awake when I came downstairs. He was at the dining table, still in his pajamas, with his laptop open, a notebook beside him, and a spoon in a dry bowl of cereal he clearly hadn't touched. His eyes were laser-focused, not on cartoons or games like most 13-year-olds. No. He had charts pulled up, long strings of numbers and strange graphs I didn't recognize. "Morning, baby," I said, pouring myself a cup of tea. "Sleep okay?" He nodded without looking up. "Yeah. Hey, Mom." His voice was calm, but his next words stopped me cold. "Do you know what a Bitcoin wallet is?" I paused mid-sip. "A what now?" "A Bitcoin wallet," he repeated, finally glancing at me. "It's where people keep cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. You know, digital money." I raised an eyebrow. "Okay, I've heard of it, but I don't really understand it." "It's money you can't hold in your hand, but it works like real cash online, and people use it to hide things, like stolen money." He stared at me, waiting. I slowly set my cup down. "Logan, what exactly are you doing?" He shrugged. "I've been following the trail." "What trail?" He turned his laptop toward me. There was a site open I didn't recognize, something with a long address and dark colors, charts, ledgers, numbers running across the screen. It looked like something from a spy movie. This is a blockchain tracker, Logan said. Every crypto transaction is recorded here. People think it's private, but it's not. You just have to know what to look for. I blinked at the screen, totally lost. You found your dad's Bitcoin account? I asked carefully. I found a wallet that matches the transfer pattern from our bank account, he said. Same time, same amount, converted almost instantly. He didn't want it to be traced. My chest tightened. How did you even figure that out? I used the email Dad signed me up with for that online trading app last year, he explained, almost too casually. He thought it was a game, but I kept the login. It was linked to one of his backup addresses. That same address is connected to a crypto wallet that suddenly got a big deposit, right after the money disappeared. I sat down slowly. Logan, this is dangerous. No, Mom, he said firmly. What he did was dangerous. What I'm doing? It's justice. I stared at him. You're just a kid. He smiled faintly. That's what makes it easy. No one suspects a kid. His words chilled me. Logan wasn't scared. He wasn't even angry, at least not on the surface. He was methodical, cold, focused. I wanted to tell him to stop, to put the laptop away, to let the adults handle it. But what adults? Derek had taken everything. The bank couldn't help. The police would call it a domestic matter. And lawyers? We didn't have that kind of money. I was alone, except I wasn't. I had Logan, and he was 10 steps ahead of me. Okay, I said softly. Say you're right. Say that's his wallet. What now? He leaned in. Now, we bait him. Bait him? I repeated. I've been studying the kinds of investments he likes, Logan explained. He follows certain traders, watches certain videos. He's predictable. So, I made a fake investment page. Looks real. Even has fake testimonials. The site links to a smart contract wallet, but guess who controls it? He grinned. I didn't. Logan, that's fraud. No, he said. It's a mirror. I blinked. A what? A mirror. I didn't steal anything. I just reflected the greed back at him. If he sends his money into it, it's because he wants more. It's his choice. His logic scared me. It was sound. Calculated. Too calculated. You've already sent it to him, haven't you? I asked. He nodded. Not directly. I posted it in the forums he lurks in. And I know it worked. He clicked it last night. I felt sick. This wasn't a prank. This was a trap, built by a 13-year-old. Logan, I whispered. What happens if he takes the bait? He looked up at me, not like a boy, but like someone far older than his years. Then he'll lose everything, he said. Just like he tried to do to us. And for the first time, I didn't know if I should be proud or terrified. I was folding laundry when I heard it. A loud bang from Logan's room, followed by muffled laughter. Logan? I called out, walking down the hall. His door was open, and he was sitting at his desk, grinning at his laptop screen like he'd just won a video game. But when he saw me, he quickly minimized the window and turned serious. Sorry, Mom, he said, trying to straighten his face. Didn't mean to be loud. I stepped in and sat on the edge of his bed. Everything okay? He nodded slowly. It worked. I gave him a blank stare. What worked? He turned his laptop back toward me, this time showing a screenshot. It was an online dashboard, some kind of fake crypto investment portal. The account name at the top said D. Preston 88. Below it, a red warning. Account closed. Funds withdrawn. Is that Dad? Logan said with a firm nod. He transferred everything in last night, 42 grand worth of Bitcoin. This morning I pulled it. I blinked. You what? He looked me dead in the eye. He thought it was an investment account. I mirrored one of the sites he follows. It took weeks to build it right, but I did it. He deposited the money thinking it was going to grow. But once the funds hit the wallet, I coded into the contract, I drained it. Every last cent. I stood there, stunned. My son, my 13-year-old son, had just stolen the money back from his own father. I should have been furious. But instead, I was numb, confused, and if I was honest, relieved. "He's going to find out," I said, almost whispering. Logan nodded. "I know." "Won't he come after us?" He gave a small shrug. "What's he going to say? That his son outsmarted him and took back the money he stole in the first place?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Where's the money now?" I asked. "In a cold wallet," Logan said. "Untraceable, secure. I'll teach you how to access it, don't worry." "You'll teach me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He nodded. "It's not just for me anymore, Mom. It's for us. I'm going to rebuild the college fund. With interest." I sat back, letting the words sink in. I was trying to process what Logan had done when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. Unknown number. I frowned and picked it up. "Hello?" A voice I hadn't heard in weeks came roaring through the speaker. "What did you do?" I nearly dropped the phone. "Derek? Where's the money, Jasmine? Where is it? It's gone. The site is gone. Everything is—" He broke off mid-sentence, panting heavily. "You think this is funny?" I froze. I didn't know what to say. Logan stood up slowly and walked over. "Put it on speaker," he whispered. I hesitated, then tapped the screen. "You're going to regret this, Jasmine. I swear to—" "Hi, Dad," Logan said calmly. The line went silent. "Logan?" Derek's voice lowered. "What the hell is going on?" "I hope you liked the website," Logan said. "Took me a while to get the design just right. Clean, professional. Looked real, didn't it?" Derek was breathing hard. "What did you do?" "I took back what's mine," Logan said coldly. "You stole my future. I returned the favor." "You think this is a game?" Derek barked. "You've got no idea what you're messing with." Logan didn't flinch. "No, Dad. You didn't know who you were messing with." Then, without another word, he ended the call. We stood in silence. I looked at Logan, really looked at him. He wasn't gloating. He wasn't scared. He was calm, collected, and that's when I knew. He hadn't acted out of revenge. He'd done it to restore balance, to fix what no one else could. My son had stepped into the fire and pulled us both out. The house was silent after Logan hung up on Derek. No one spoke, no cartoons played in the background, no dishes clattered in the sink. Just the heavy, invisible weight of everything that had happened sitting between us. Logan sat back down at his desk, typing something quietly. His face was calm, but his fingers moved fast. I couldn't tell if he was cleaning his digital tracks or locking something up tighter. I stood in the doorway watching him. Part of me wanted to shout. Not because I was angry, but because I didn't know how to process any of this. My son had just pulled off something that would take most grown men with advanced degrees weeks to figure out. He didn't just take the money back. He made a fool of Derek. And Derek wasn't the type to let things go. So, I waited. And the storm came fast. It was a little after 9 p.m. when the phone rang again. I was washing dishes, staring blankly out the window, trying to pretend things were normal. Logan was upstairs, quiet again. The screen flashed. Unknown caller. I froze. The last time that happened, Logan took the call. This time, I answered. "Hello? You let him do this?" Derek's voice was low now. Not angry. Not shouting. Shaking. "Let him?" I repeated. "You're the one who took your own son's future and ran off to play sugar daddy with some—" "I didn't know he was capable of this," Derek hissed. "He tricked me. My entire crypto wallet is empty. Do you understand? Empty. I had more than just your stupid college fund in there." I blinked. "Wait. What?" "There was other money," he said quickly. "Investments. A lot more. I thought I was growing it. He drained everything." I didn't respond, because I didn't know. I thought Logan only took back what was his. But Derek had transferred everything into that fake account? All of it? "I want it back," Derek said, his voice breaking. "Do you hear me, Jasmine? I need that money." The word "need" stuck in my ear like a splinter. This man didn't need anything. He'd chosen to disappear, to betray us, to strip our lives bare and decorate someone else's. I gripped the phone tighter. "I don't think Logan owes you a thing," I said evenly. Derek let out a long breath. "You're not getting it. Tina left me. The second the money disappeared, she was gone. She said I was a loser with no plan. My car got repossessed yesterday. I'm staying in a motel. I have nothing." I closed my eyes. All I saw was Logan's face the day he caught me crying. The calmness in his voice. The way he quietly watched everything fall apart. And decided he wouldn't let it happen. "Maybe that's what happens when you treat your family like they're disposable," I said. He didn't answer right away. Then he whispered, "I didn't think he'd go that far. I didn't think he'd actually do it." I almost laughed. "He's your son, Derek. You made him grow up too fast. And now you're surprised he didn't stay a child?" I heard him sniffle, maybe cry, but I didn't feel sorry. He chose this, every step of the way. Suddenly, Logan was at the kitchen doorway. He must have come downstairs during the call. He held out his hand. I gave him the phone. He pressed it to his ear. "Hi again," he said, voice calm. "No, I didn't take everything. I left you some. Just not the part you stole from me." He paused. "Also, you might want to check the email you used for the account. I changed the password back to the default. You're locked out. But you'll see something special in your inbox. A breakdown of where your money went. A full receipt. I figured you'd appreciate the transparency." Another pause. "I didn't ruin your life, Dad. You did that all on your own." And then Logan hung up. He handed the phone back to me without a word, walked to the fridge, poured himself a glass of juice, and sat down at the table like nothing had happened. Like it was just another Tuesday night. But it wasn't, because in that moment I realized Logan wasn't just my son anymore. He was something far more terrifying and far more powerful. He was done being the victim. I never thought I'd see Derek again. Not in person, not face to face, not without wanting to slap him. But life has a strange way of circling back, especially when you've been wronged and justice is overdue. After Logan's final call, I assumed Derek would crawl back into whatever hole he was hiding in and stay there. But he didn't. Instead, he filed a lawsuit. Yes, a lawsuit. He tried to sue his own son for fraudulent access and theft of digital assets. The same son whose college fund he drained. The same son he abandoned. The same son who left him a detailed breakdown of every single transaction. All traceable and backed by receipts. The nerve. At first, I panicked. I won't lie. What if some judge didn't care about the why, only the how? What if Logan got punished for being smarter, faster, better? He was only 13, a kid. I was terrified they'd treat him like an adult. But Logan? He didn't blink. "Let him take me to court," he said, calmly buttering his toast like we were discussing soccer practice. And just like that, we prepared. I hired a lawyer, but Logan did most of the legwork. He gathered screenshots, timestamps, chat logs, voice recordings. He even had Derek's original video call recorded, the one where he admitted to taking the money and laughing about it. When the court date arrived, the courtroom was cold and stiff. Logan wore his school blazer, sat next to me with a quiet confidence that didn't match his age. Derek showed up alone, looking like a ghost, thinner, grayer, bitter. The sparkle was gone from his eyes. His suit was wrinkled, like he'd slept in it. When the judge asked him to state his case, Derek put on a performance. "He hacked into my wallet," he insisted. "He's just a child. He stole everything from me. I'm his father." The judge turned to our side. "Is this true?" Our lawyer stood, calm. "Your Honor, if I may, My client did not hack anything. He simply accessed a shared device, logged into an email account left open on that device, and found a transaction history connected to his college fund. The defendant moved the funds under false pretenses, and my client legally reclaimed them, all with full documentation. Would you like to see the ledger? The judge raised a brow. Yes, I would. Logan passed forward a thick, spiral-bound report. The judge flipped through the pages slowly. His eyes narrowed. His frown deepened. Then came the video clip. Logan had queued it up on a USB. On the screen, Derek's smirking face filled the courtroom. The look on your mom's face was priceless, man. She cried like a baby. Anyway, enjoy your math test, kiddo. I'm off to Cancun. The room went still. Derek looked like he wanted to melt through the floor. The judge stared at him for a long moment. Then he turned to Logan. You prepared all this? Logan nodded. Yes, sir. You're 13? Yes, sir. The judge sat back. Incredible. Then he looked at Derek. Mr. Owens, it's clear this lawsuit is not only baseless, it's malicious. You attempted to exploit your own child, then blamed him when he defended himself. I'm dismissing this case with prejudice. You are also ordered to reimburse all legal fees incurred by Ms. Owens and her son. Furthermore, I am forwarding this to the district attorney's office for possible charges regarding the misappropriation of the college fund. Derek's mouth fell open. He tried to speak, but nothing came out. As the bailiff called the next case, we stood and walked out. Logan held my hand, for the first time in months, not because he needed to, but because he wanted to. Outside, the sun was bright. Logan squinted up at the sky and smiled. So, pancakes to celebrate? He asked. I laughed. I think you've earned a whole stack. A month later, life was quiet again, peaceful. Logan returned to coding, reading, and working on his new side hustle, building an app to help teens track and protect their financial goals. He even started mentoring other kids at school. And me? I finally started taking care of myself. I got a part-time job at the library, enrolled in online classes, began dreaming again. Derek never reached out again. He was too busy dealing with the fallout of his own actions. As for Logan, he taught me something I'll never forget. Being young doesn't mean being powerless, and being smart doesn't make you dangerous, unless someone gives you a reason to be.